Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Happy Friday. I apologize in advance if you do hear some clunking sounds in this video. They're doing some construction around where I'm living. But in today's video, we're going to touch on and expand on the conversation that Darren had yesterday about the Wonder Woman poster, San Diego Comic-Con, what's going on at DC, and we'll talk a little bit about the MCU at the end, just to kind of update you on what's going on. But before I get into those topics, I do want to thank all of you guys for the love and support on my big announcement on in my last video on Monday. If you guys didn't see that video, I announced that I was going to be a father, and should be coming October, November. So I'm really excited about that. And I just want to say thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys showed me in the comment section. I tried to respond to everybody who congratulated me, and I just want to thank you guys. I didn't realize how many fathers we had in our community. So you guys pouring out the wisdom and encouragement, I definitely want to reciprocate that and just say thank you. So thank you guys for all of that. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our first topic today, and that is the Wonder Woman 1984 poster. And I know Darren touched on this yesterday, but because of his passion about the whole Comic-Con situation, he kind of moved past it without talking about his thoughts on it. And I definitely wanted to share mine because of how crazy, loud, and eye-catching this poster is for a lot of different reasons. So my thoughts on the poster, I know I've seen in the comment sections and discussion boards that people are kind of divided on this poster, like a lot of things in the DCEU, right? So looking at this poster, I thought it looks incredibly awesome. Now, when this movie was announced to be taking place in the 80s, I wasn't so on board with it. Of course, whatever I get, I'm happy with what I get because we live in such great times that we're getting all these comic book properties brought to life. But I wasn't so happy about it. But after seeing some of the set photos and descriptions and everything, of course, I started to get more excited. But, this photo was dropped yesterday definitely to kind of distract us from the Comic-Con announcement backlash that was bound to happen. And it's easy to look past it, or it's easy to look past, the actual poster itself. But looking at it, in my opinion, it looks amazing. Now, this poster, it's just her standing there, but everything around it, very eye-catching, very 80s in a lot of different ways. Not only with the coloring, and I know a lot of people are complaining about the coloring, comparing it to something like Thor Ragnarok. I gotta say, just comment on that. Thor Ragnarok's not the first movie that has color in it, so I really don't understand why people are criticizing it for having color. Of course, it was the 80s. It was a time of excess, and it was so loud back then, and in a lot of different ways this poster says that. And I love the fact that the colors and lines kind of form the W for Wonder Woman, and seeing Gal Gadot in this picture, man, she's incredibly hot. And I love the fact that she's in a brand new costume. Now, the first set photos that we got out of this movie kind of showed her in her classic armor, which I didn't have a problem with. It was actually kind of colored up just a bit, or brightened up just a bit. But seeing her in some new armor, this looks incredible. So you got the shoulder pads there, definitely with the 80s look, but it also fits into her popular Golden Eagle armor that debuted back in the Kingdom Come book in 1996. So that's really exciting right there. The fact that we're going to get some new armor for our Diana. Now, all you Wonder Woman fans out there are definitely going to have to help me out on this. But from what I understand, like, this armor doesn't really give her any extra protection outside of it being some ceremonial Amazonian armor. Of course, it's missing the eagle. It's missing the eagle helmet and the wings. So a lot of questions are going to be, one, whether or not they're hiding that aspect of this armor in this poster here, just to show off a little bit more of the actor in Gal Gadot. Two, is Wonder Woman going to be flying in this movie? And I know a lot of Wonder Woman fans out there. You guys have definitely mentioned in the comment section when I've posed this question, you guys want to see her fly. It definitely messes with the continuity a little bit because she didn't fly in Justice League or the first Wonder Woman movie. Some people might argue she did, but really she was just jumping pretty far, or she was kind of floating too. Is she gonna fly? And then as part of wearing this armor? Is she going to be, who is she going to actually be battling with this armor? Because a lot of people are speculating that you know, Wonder Woman doesn't really need battle armor. Again, mostly ceremonial from my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments if there's any other special attributes going along with this armor. But who is she going to be battling? Surely Cheetah is not as powerful as a god, right? So a lot of people are speculating that there is going to be another god that she will be fighting in this movie, and possibly having to do with the Pedro Pascal character. So a lot of us thought he was going to be Maxwell Lord. Now I'm seeing a lot of discussions like, hey, it may be a different god that she may be battling against in this movie, and that god may have to do with Steve Trevor's return. So again, I'm glad I don't really know the answers to this, because I don't want none of this leaked to me. But I do want to hear some of your guys' speculation, especially if you guys are big Wonder Woman fans out there. I know we got some big Wonder Woman readers in our community, so definitely let me know. I just think this armor looks really awesome, and I think the poster looks great as well. Again, not understanding some of the criticism thrown at this poster. But those are my thoughts on the poster. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Moving on to the next topic, Darren also touched on this yesterday, but I did kind of want to expand on it a little bit. So Darren let us know that DC won't have a Hall H panel this year, and definitely that is a big disappointment for a few different reasons, which I'll share again here. But first, I want to say, I know some people in the comment section commented, hey, so they're not going to be at Comic-Con. I believe they are going to be at Comic-Con. They just won't have an Hall H panel. Instead, DC's properties will be brought in together with the Warner Brothers properties to have a booth over there, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing, and I'm sure it's going to be something worth visiting. I do want to say that with DC missing from Hall H and Marvel pretty much doing the same thing with their D23 event, there's not a lot of Hall H panels to look forward to possibly, and that again is a big disappointment, because I think Comic-Con is such an event that all eyes in the nerd culture are fixated on this event when it does happen. But that's not to say that this event is worthless. I've been seeing in some of the comments that, hey man, this, you know, then it's not even, Comic-Con is, you know, nothing without this, you know, this Hall H panel, these movie announcements. But I do want to say, being at a convention and being at my first convention in the Fanime, doing the Fanime event with Darren, doing our press coverage there. Check out the video right here if you haven't seen it yet. Just being at the event itself, surrounded by a ton of people, like-minded people who are just there, very positive, just to absorb the atmosphere around people who are of the same mindset of you, that is an amazing experience in itself. So I think Comic-Con still definitely is worth it. If, well, Darren's been for years and years, maybe he's not, maybe he wants to skip the crowds this year. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him yet. I'll see him this weekend, definitely get to discuss that with him, but I still think, I haven't been to Comic-Con myself, and I definitely still would like to go. I think DC and Marvel should still have a presence there, just not a huge presence as we're used to. But I do think the atmosphere alone and the panels, just you know, being able to see artists and celebrities, maybe not as many as they used to, but you'll be able to see celebrities, some YouTube people that I like to follow, and especially the artists, the cosplayers, everything about it, the atmosphere looks like something I still want to be at. So I do think that Comic-Con still is something worth going to. Remember, it's called Comic-Con. It's not called comic book movie con. So it was something that started a long time ago, before all of these movies were getting as big as they were. So I do think also that we are not going to be missing out on any huge trailers, and this is just me speculating. I do think that we are going to get some big trailers coming soon. I just think while Darren mentioned that he doesn't think DC knows exactly where they want to go, I do think that they're of the mindset that that they can put out trailers whenever they want. I think Disney kind of proved it with D23 pulling out. They still got huge views on the trailers and announcements that they made on their own, and maybe that's the route Warner Brothers wants to go. Maybe they think, hey, I don't know how much they're paying to reserve Hall H. Can't be that. It can't be, you know, something that's really troubling them so much. But maybe they don't need Hall H to make their big announcements and trailer announcements, because as a person who's never been to Comic-Con or the Hall H H. It sounds awesome. Again, to be around all those fans, but I've never been there, and I've never missed out on anything, any trailers, any announcements. The only thing I've missed out on is that extended footage that Hall H people, the people in Hall H, get to see. And again, the amount of people that get to pack into Hall H, it's really a tiny fraction of a percentage of the fan base. So again, maybe they think they can make a splash with these announcements without appearing at Hall H, and I think they can, because again, as someone who's never been, I've never missed out on any news. I think Wonder Woman is so far away from now that they'll start promoting probably months from now. They don't necessarily need to place a focus on it yet. This poster that dropped was kind of an announcement poster. I do want to see more Joker footage, but again, they can drop that whenever they want. They don't necessarily need to do it at a panel at Comic-Con, though I do understand that there was an opportunity there with Marvel not being there for them to once again get all the spotlight on them at this event, because when Comic-Con is usually happening, all of us are glued onto our computers, onto our phones for these big announcements. And while I do think DC, kind of had a missed opportunity here, I do think they probably have a mindset of their own now, feeling like, hey, we're going to control when and where we want to drop this footage. So that's my thoughts on it. I think, obviously DC, this type of news is definitely going to bum out a lot of fans, especially with all the other stuff laid on top of it, with all the rumors and all that. And I think this is almost like a palate cleanser. Last Comic-Con, was it last Comic-Con already, when we've gotten all these announcements from DC that turn out to be false announcements, and they turn out to change their mind last minute. And I also almost forgot, they also, the struggle of getting all these A-list celebrities to come to one place at one time must be a super huge hassle. So again, I don't know if if they actually have plans or if they're doing this on purpose. This is me speculating, just weighing the costs versus benefit. I think they're thinking they could do their own thing. That's what I think, at least. Let me know what you guys think about this whole Hall H situation. It's definitely got a lot of people disappointed. Okay, and moving on, let's talk about this Warner Media streaming service. So we got the announcement yesterday. Again, Darren touched on it, and I'm reading more about it, and I'm starting to see, like, hey, maybe this is the direction DC's going. This is me speculating again, but there seems to be some things to back it up. So they canceled Swamp Thing for a lot of different reasons. Has to do with a lot of tax issues and things like that, and executives who maybe weren't on board with the vision for Swamp Thing. So a lot of different reasons with that. But what also could possibly play a factor is that the Warner Media streaming service, parent company of all the DC properties and everything, they are kind of reevaluating this whole DC universe thing. They are looking to go ahead and start their own streaming service that includes this includes HBO and Cinemax, and all their other properties. What I'm thinking is that they're going to take all their property from this DC universe and just merge it into one huge big streaming service to compete against the current streaming service platforms, Netflix, Hulu, the Disney streaming service, which I'm definitely going to get based on The Mandalorian alone. Big Star Wars fan. I know some of you guys are not big Star Wars fans, but I'm definitely going to get that. But it looks like Warner Media streaming service, it may cost $16 to $17. That is the steepest price out of any streaming service. But looking at what they're going to include, man, it might be worth it. So again, this is once you add up all these streaming services, because I have Amazon, I have Hulu, Netflix, and I have Hulu because I have Spotify. So that was a great little pairing. And then I'm gonna get the Disney one. So dude, this is gonna cost as much as it would just normally have to have cable. And but luckily enough, this Warner Media streaming service is supposed to include content from TNT, TBS, Adult Swim, and even more. And that's along with things from like HBO and Cinemax. HBO has some of the best programming out there as well. You know, the reason why I haven't yet got to the DC streaming stuff is because I'm still watching things on HBO. Currently Chernobyl, after Game of Thrones that I finished up, you know, True Detective, Boardwalk Empire, those type of shows, amazing shows. Some of the best TV out there is on HBO. So pairing the DC stuff up with this Warner Media streaming service definitely sounds like a deal to me. Now, again, that could be part of the reasons why they're reevaluating everything. And I'm sure Swamp Thing really didn't have a factor to play in here, but maybe it did. Maybe it's a tiny fraction of why they canceled. You know, these new shows that they cancel it after the first episode makes no sense. So again, just wanted to report on this whole streaming service thing. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm gonna even be able to afford another streaming service. So let me know what you guys think. What are your preferred streaming services? And if DC Universe was to merge into this Warner Media streaming service, would you get this at $16 to $17 per month? Something that includes HBO, Cinemax, TNT, programming, TBS, Adult Swim. Is that something that you would subscribe to? Or are you starting to cut these streaming services, or are you content with Netflix? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That is definitely a big topic right there. And we'll get more into it as we get more news about this stuff. And lastly, just wanted to go ahead and give an update on some of this Marvel news. I know we haven't done a lot of Marvel videos lately. That's because Marvel seems to just be chugging along. It's going on smooth. Nothing really crazy to report. But what I did want to talk about just a little bit is that Doctor Strange 2 is reportedly going to be filming soon in January 2020, and this is according to a comment. It's not confirmed, but it's according to a comment by Wong. What's his name? Benedict. There's two Benedicts. Benedict Cumberbatch plays Doctor Strange, and the person who plays Wong is Benedict Wong. That's his name, who plays Wong. And he says he met one of the producers of Doctor Strange, Robert Cargill. He met him at the Avengers Endgame premiere, and then he did mention that he just met the producer, and production should start soon next year. And so we got that news. That, you know, exciting to hear that, because Doctor Strange definitely, out of the MCU, is probably one of my favorite movies. Definitely a character I want to see more of after seeing how powerful he is and how great a screen presence Benedict Cumberbatch has with this character in Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So outside of this happening, we got set photos from the Black Widow movie. Again, I haven't been following it super closely. I was really curious to see where they might go with this whole Black Widow situation. But as you can see from some of these pictures, she's just walking in the forest. Nothing really exciting about it, but she does have some earphones on. And I'm wondering, this may be between takes, because I heard it was supposed to be set in the 90s. But I'm not sure if it is, given that I'm not sure if these earphones are even a part of what's going on in the movie. To be honest, I haven't been incredibly excited about a Black Widow movie. Again, I'm going to watch it when it comes out, but I haven't been incredibly excited about it. Let me know what you guys think about a Black Widow movie in the comments below. Curious to see how many of you guys want to see that movie. But outside of that, other movies that are on the slate and are probably going to be announced soon at D23, Black Panther 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Shang-Chi, and then of course the Doctor Strange 2, and the Eternals. And again, Eternals, not something I've been crazy looking forward to. We'll see when it comes out. I'm sure I'll get excited once I start to see more of this stuff. But definitely Black Panther 2 is the one thing that I'm super excited for. There's rumors that Killmonger's coming back in some form or fashion. I'm thinking he's going to be one of the spirits on the spiritual plane that that T'Challa goes into. Shang-Chi, another interesting one. Again, Marvel's looking to diversify their cast, so of course to get some representation for the Asian audience, which is a huge audience out there, would be definitely smart for them, though I don't know a lot about this Shang-Chi character. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3, you know, we'll see where that comes. What happens with that? I don't think there's any confirmation that Fat Thor is going to be joining the cast yet, but I wouldn't be surprised at all given how Endgame ended. So let me know what you guys think about all these MCU announcements. Would you like to hear more from the MCU on our channel? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below and what you're most excited for. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell to be notified every time we drop a video. Thank you guys. Have a good weekend. Peace.